Hey everybody, Real with Wes, day 3 coming at you. Day 4 coming at you. Get my days a little mixed up. We're on day 4 though. Welcome to Thursday. Hope everybody's doing well and everybody's just doing their best, and whatever God's called you, empowered you to do, man, just success is what I speak over your life. If you didn't catch services, we're definitely still doing the changeover on a lot of things you're going to see with our services in New York. We're going to want to increase those things. You'll see increase coming from me. But until then, also, of course, man, it is always good to feed from our spiritual parents, Creflo and Taffi Dollar. And of course, they had service in College Park last night at 7 p.m. And of course, yesterday morning at 10 a.m. They had some awesome services. I encourage you to keep feeding on them. But make sure you come back here. You're going to hear stuff pertaining to New York City. You're going to hear me, pastor, from the perspective of on the ground in New York City, feeding you and what our members are dealing with and the challenges we're faced with, but experiencing the breakthroughs and victories like never before right here for our city in New York City. So let's keep moving along. We're talking about here this week, impaired decision making. What are some things that impair our ability to make sound decisions? And why is this so vital? It's like, man, what's so important about this? You don't want to be missing God, to be honest. You don't want to be going one direction and God's over here. Man, you want to walk in step with Him, walk in sync with Him, walk in order with Him, walk in this amazing plan He has for you, walk in harmony with Him. Plus, you want to live happy. We talked about earlier the scripture in 2 Timothy, having a sound mind. Isn't it nice to be able to live in peace here? Really, peace will always start inward before it'll ever show up outward. And peace can be all around you and you still have turmoil on the inside. So we want to talk about some ways the enemy traps us into keeping in the place of fear, out of peace, out of a sound mind, and going actually, what many times we don't realize, working against God when God is trying to work and get things to us. So we want to be working in harmony with Him, and that's what this is all about. It's just being able to recognize when we're getting kind of pulled out of whack, because we have to deal with this every day. I have to deal with this. I have to resist these things just as much, but I'm teaching you and equipping you how to resist the traps of the enemy, how to dodge them and navigate them, and live in God's best, and that's what I want to see for your life. So let's talk about today. What are some other things that impair our ability? Strife. Now I know that word can be thrown about losing everything, strife, everything's this, but strife is this contention between you and another person. In a situation, there's strong disagreement there, and it's okay to have disagreement. When I say that, it's okay to have conflict, and it's okay to disagree. But when it turns into what starts on the onset of hatred, resentment, me versus you, and really ultimately what it does, it violates, when your disagreement starts violating the love commandment when it comes to treating people right, honoring people, integrity. Strife will lead you outside of that, and it will cause you to make damaging decisions. Particularly, strife is one of the best ways to ruin relationships, actually. If you want to make bad decisions in your relationship, allow strife to run the show. And strife is when you choose to be offended. I'm offended. Well, that's a choice, is what that is. I don't want to hear that, Wes. Man, you don't know what they did. You don't know. Yeah, but you're not in control of them. You're in control of yourself. And you have to be responsible for your own behavior. And it's your choice to be offended by that, to get in the strife, and then start making your decisions based off that. That's the trap of the enemy. It doesn't make what they did right. It doesn't make everything that happened right. It doesn't make everything you did right either, by the way. But we have to be more mature and get outside of the trap of the enemy. Sometimes some of the disagreements and stuff are just not worth it if it's going to lead you to a place of strife. And people don't like that, because it means sometimes you got to, kind of give in sometimes a little bit. Sometimes kind of give your way. And I don't mean abuse or any of those things, but if you want a marriage to be successful, if you want things to be successful with kids, you want coworkers to be so, it's a give and take a lot of times, in a healthy, balanced way when I say that, but in a loving way when I say that. But you don't want to get into a place of strife. Now, once again, avoiding strife doesn't mean avoiding confrontation, doesn't mean avoiding disagreement, doesn't mean avoiding where you have different points of views and perspective. Strife is when you get over in that place of offense. And now strife will decrease your communication. Strife will decrease the opportunity to have conflict or disagreement, or have healthy conversations where both parties can change and adjust. Strife is just isolation many a times. But it talks about in James 3:16, for wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, which strife flows from a place of self-centeredness, offense flows from a place of self-centeredness, there you will find disorder or confusion and every evil kind of work. You will live in a place of confusion. So what do I do, Wes? You walk in love. If you hear this all week long, a lot of this, to walk in this clarity means you got to walk in love. That's what it means to walk in the light. So you may have to walk in forgiveness, just like people walk in forgiveness with you. And that's how you avoid strife, and you avoid your decision making being impaired. You'd avoid your decision making being impaired in your relationships. You don't make emotionally charged negative decisions. You don't lash out and hurt people and injure people. No, you get to take a step back and make a quality decision saying, that hurt, but here's how we move forward. Here's how we work through it. Here's how we navigate through it. Here's how we overcome it. Here's how we actually end up what should have been something that hurt our relationship flips around by the grace of God because of sound decision making. It now becomes a strong point where we actually come through it stronger. You imagine that, a conflict, and your relationship comes out stronger on the other side? Man, that's what God knows. So don't let strife rob you. Don't let it rob you of your peace. Don't let it rob you of your harmony with others. And don't let it rob you of the opportunity to grow in your relationships and make quality decisions. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. We'll catch you tomorrow, Friday, and we'll close out the week. But man, I hope this blessed you. Go back and listen to the first day each day and walk in good, sound decision making. All right, catch you tomorrow.